Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, Sigval here and welcome back to another video. In this one I'm going to teach you how to build characters in terms of their gears and the gear bonuses. Because some of you got, all of us at this point got a ton of Reforges from the free anniversary comics gifts. But even if you didn't, even if you're watching this video afterwards, it does not matter because this will still apply to you. I just did it now because I think now more than ever people need help with this, and I did have a guide in the past, but that's kind of old. But yeah, I'm gonna teach you how to be efficient because you got a lot of Reforges from that comics thing, and some of you might dump all of them into one character and getting one perfect build when you could get with that amount around 5 to 6 perfect build, not perfect builds, like 80% builds or even more than that. So there are 3 stages when getting gear bonuses for a character. First of all, you're going to swap all the gear bonuses until all of them are somewhat useful gear bonuses. What do I mean by somewhat useful gear bonuses? You're gonna get rid of all the crits, resistance, stun resistance, and lethal. Crit resistance and stun resistance are going to be bad bonuses on gears, it's just as simple as that. And then lethal is going to be something that's very situational for some specific characters, so unless there's lethal on your build, that's going to do nothing for you. Other than that, crit chance, crit damage, fast attack chance, health, and attack, regardless of what you're building, they're gonna be somewhat useful to you. So first of all, you're gonna make sure you get rid of all the lethal and all the crit resistances. Because even if you're building a damage dealer, if you ran out of Reforges, you're better off just having the bonuses that actually give you something, even though they don't not all of them give you damage oriented bonuses. By the way, there's 2 types of gear Reforges. The only difference with them is that this has a slightly higher chance to give you like a rare bonus. This is simply more time efficient, but you should never go out of your way to get this. Let's use those up, because I always like to use those up because I don't like hoarding them. Crit damage rare, okay, that's good. Right now we don't even care how do we want to build this character, we just want to get rid of all the crit resistance, stun resistance, and lethal, as I said. And arc resistance here, get rid of it. Again, I don't have to do this because I have a ton of Reforges, I can go straight up for the perfect build, but I'm just teaching you how to handle a limited amount of Reforges. Okay, so now, let's say we wanted to build this man as a damage dealer, right? In order to build him as a damage dealer, this is not a guide about how to build characters as damage dealers tanks, but for the example, we want to build this man as a damage dealer, right? We want crit chance, crit damage. Right now, if we only had, let's say, the 20 green Reforges it would have taken us to get to this point, we would still have a serviceable character that has some defense, has some health, has some crit damage, has some crit chance. But now you have a few more Reforges. What do you need to get? Now we need to go on the gears and try our best to switch all the bonuses to only bonuses that we need, regardless of if they're high rolls or low rolls. For him specifically as a damage dealer, I want crit chance, crit damage, and the rest dumped into attack. He does not use any other stats in terms of the gameplay that Batman usually has, so I don't care about anything but crit chance, crit damage, and the rest into attack. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna keep this and keep this, because even though they're common rolls, are gonna be something that we can use, and try to get rid of everything else that's not crit chance, crit damage, or attack. And there we go, crit chance. We got a rare one. We're overlapping in crit chance. You can always jump between this and this. You're gonna click, actually we're not overlapping, but you can click on the stats, and I'm gonna show you again after we're overlapping, which means we have more than the max in crit chance. You can go back there and click and see by how much, but always take high rolls, even if you're overlapping, because you might go on to another gear and see that you have a low roll. We already had a low roll here that would have been replaced by something else if this was overlapping, but yeah, here this is fine for now, this is fine, we move on. Fast attack chance, we don't need that. Crit chance, crit damage, we need those, so let's roll the fast attack chance. Again, just getting rid of those Reforges. It's not important if you have green or yellow ones. Okay, let's move on to the green ones. I always like to spend the yellow ones because I don't like them being here. They just piss me off. Defense, we don't need that for this build in particular. Attack, okay. It's a common, that's fine. Pick the attack. Now we're gonna get out of here. Next gear. Have crit damage, that's good. We don't need the defense or health. We're gonna roll this. Fast actions, we don't need it for this build. Other characters do need fast actions, but this man as a damage dealer, we don't really need it. Health rare, we don't need that. This would be good for tanks. Another fast actions rare, boy. Come on, give me something I need. Crit resistance, it's only giving me rares, but bad rares. What is this fast? How many rares? What's the chance of that happening with those many rare rolls? Crit resistance again. Oh boy. Okay, we'll keep the attack. It doesn't matter, it's common. For now, at the very least. Health, we want to get rid of this. Lethal, we don't need that. Crit damage, okay, we need crit damage. We're gonna keep it. Again, also, don't care about threats. This thing here is irrelevant. This is something that's going to grow for your account and for your characters as they get better, but having the highest threat possible is not gonna be great always, because it's gonna make you do bad builds. Never ever listen to threat when you roll something and you feel like you want something, but the threat says it's gonna be lower threat. Don't listen to it. So now we have here crit chance, defense, and health. We need the crit chance, we're gonna roll the defense and health. We're gonna roll all the gears until we have only crit chance, crit damage, and attack. Right now we don't even care if we're overlapping or by how much we're overlapping in those stats. Overlapping it again meaning that we have more than the max. We're already overlapping in crit chance, but it's fine. Crit chance again, we're gonna get rid of that afterwards. Oh boy, we need to roll all of this. And we don't need those stats for what we're building. We need attack, crit damage, and not really crit chance anymore. Lethal actions, we don't need that for this man. Fast actions, we don't need that for this man. Attack, I'll take it. Let's roll this. Defense, we don't need that. Also, on damage dealers, if you feel like you wanna put defense, even though the actual build doesn't say it requires defense, if you feel like your character's dying too much, feel free to put defense. You're just gonna lose a little bit of attack, it doesn't matter that much. We're gonna roll this as well. This is the last one. 3 damage. Okay, this is stage 2 complete. Now moving on to stage 3. Every single thing on those gears, it's what we need. But it's too much of what we need at some points. Because we're gonna go over here. We're gonna look at those values. Attack, you don't care about it for now, because your attack is gonna grow as you free up more slots from those two. So we take a look at this thing. You're gonna make a little bit of a calculation. Maximum is gonna be 75%, and this is gonna be overlapping that 75% by 2% from here, 12, kind of 17% overlapping. So we have 17% more crit chance than we need to. Now we're gonna go back to the gears and find the crit chance that's gonna be a low roll, because this is the least valuable. We're not gonna reroll a high roll, and we're gonna try to turn this into a high roll. We need more crit damage, as we have seen. Okay, it's a crit damage one. We go back here. We do have maxed out crit damage. Now, this build is somewhat okay. You have maxed out crit chance, maxed out crit damage, you have the percentage values. Every single time you do a build, you should prioritize the percentage values over here. If you need lethal, get max lethal. If you need crit chance, crit damage, get those maxed out. If you need defense, get this maxed out. If you need fast actions, get this maxed out. Never care too much about health and attack as a priority, because those will get heavily supplemented for in soul rates by the artifact bonuses eventually. The most important thing are the percentage values. Now you could run this character, you could do well enough with this character, but if you want to take him further, the next step is going to be getting all the high rolls that you can. You're gonna go ahead and try to switch everything but the attack. The attack should be the last priority. You leave all the attack rolls as they are, and you try to roll the crit chance. Let's say we make this crit chance into a rare. If we make this crit chance into a rare, it means we can get rid of one more crit chance that's common, and replace it with an attack roll. We get rid of a common crit damage, and we get a rare crit damage. That means we can basically get rid of one common crit damage and get one more attack roll. See, this is exactly what happened here, because we were... Over here we got this crit chance at some point, and that's made us overlapping crit chance, and then we switch the crit chance for attack. This is how it's going. How do our stats look right now? Crit chance is gonna be 74%. That's fine for now. Crit damage, is it overlapping? It's not overlapping by much, but yeah, you get rare rolls, which means you need fewer rolls to supplement this percentage value, and then you get more attack rolls. That's like the last step you wanna get. And this is a point where you can feel free to stop for now. If you've got a lot of characters you want to build, if you got a lot of them and you have limited reforges, you should stop now and do this for every single character that you want to build. And after you have done that for every single character that you want to build and you've been planning to building, then you can go and fine-tune the builds. Because getting to this point, to be fair, it took a very little amount of reforges. It took like at best 100, somewhere between 50 and 100. But taking this from this to a perfect build on the gears at the very least will take you 200 more reforges, or maybe 4 times the reforges you spent until now, because it's gonna get harder and harder to find the rolls that you need. And the hardest thing is when you're gonna have all the rare rolls that you need for the percentage values, and you only need to reroll the attack rolls until they are high rolls. The hardest character to build in terms of the gear rolls in the game is going to be Multiverse Armor Supergirl, because she needs absolutely no percentage values, because she's getting all of them from passives and from flash. And you want to go on every single gear and roll every single roll to get a high attack roll. And this takes a long ass time, because the fewer things you're gonna need on the gears, the harder it's gonna get to get those things that you need. Because out of all the rolls, there's gonna be only one possibility of success, and all of them are gonna be failure. So this is why you should kind of stop where I stopped with Batman for now and build everything you want to build, and then go back and go ahead and fine-tune characters. But yeah, I hope you found this helpful, and good luck spending those free reforges that you got yourself. But yeah, thanks so much for watching, and goodbye.